Good afternoon. Today's video is adding and subtracting integers using rules. So we're going to be adding and subtracting numbers with a couple rules in mind so that way we can better check our work. Our LEQs today are: what are the 3 rules for adding integers, and how can the rules be used to check your work? So let's start off with our I can statement. I can use the rules to add and subtract integers. There are 3 rules that we are going to look at. The first one is if we have a positive number plus another positive number. And that rule, you are going to keep the sign, so that means that both of our numbers are going to stay positive and our answer is going to be positive, and you're just going to add them together. So these you already know how to do, they are no big deal. 5 plus 8, I have a positive number plus a positive number. So now my answer is going to be positive, and 5 plus 8 is 13. So here's just a couple examples of when I have 2 positive numbers, how I just add them together and my answer is positive. So 7 plus 12 is 19. 5 plus 4 is 9. What's 2 plus 8? 2 plus 8 is 10, and 14 plus 9 is 25. Our second rule, if we have a negative number plus a positive number, so 1 negative and 1 positive, you're going to subtract the 2 numbers, and whichever number is larger, you're going to keep the sign of that number. So let's talk about what that looks like. So in this one, I have negative 2, and I'm adding 6. So I'm going to keep the sign of the larger number. My answer is going to be positive because 6 is my larger number and 6 is positive. Now I'm just going to subtract them. 6 minus 2 is 4. Here's a few examples. So in this one, my larger number is negative 4. So I know that my answer is going to be negative. And now I can just subtract them. 4 minus 3 is 1. My answer has to be negative, so negative 1. In this one, my larger number is also negative because 6 is bigger than 2, and 6 is negative. So now I can subtract them. 6 minus 2 is 4, and because the number 6 is negative, that bigger number is negative, my answer is negative. So now I have negative 3 plus 3. If my numbers are the same, the answer is 0. So negative 11 plus 9. Is that answer going to be negative or positive? The answer for that one is going to be negative because 11 is bigger than 9. So my answer is going to be negative. And I just subtract them. 11 minus 9 is 2. Put my negative sign in front. My answer is negative 2. Negative 2 plus 19. Will my answer be negative or positive? 19 is bigger, and it's positive, so my answer is going to be positive. What does negative 2 plus 19 equal? I'm going to subtract them. 19 minus 2 is 17, and my answer is going to be positive. So my answer is positive 17. One more rule left. If I have 2 negative numbers, a negative added to a negative, I don't have to worry about the sign. I'm going to keep the sign and just add them together. So I have negative 7 plus negative 9. I'm going to keep my sign the same, so my answer will be negative. And I just add them. 7 plus 9 is 16. So my answer is negative 16. So negative 4 plus negative 7. My answer is going to be negative because both of my addends are negative. And 4 plus 7 is 11. So I have negative 11. Negative 6 plus negative 12. Both of my numbers are negative, so my answer is going to be negative. And 6 plus 12 is 18, so my answer is negative 18. Negative 9 plus negative 10. Is my answer going to be positive or negative? My answer is going to be negative. What is 9 plus 10? 9 plus 10 is 19. So negative 9 plus negative 10 equals negative 19. What is negative 14 plus negative 3? Negative 17. So next, you have practice problems on the back of your sheet. You should have time to take a break before you have to be back on Zoom. Make sure you take a break to give your brain a break and to shake out your legs. And then you have to get back on Zoom so we can go over the practice.